MSA Weekly. I'm Bill Sammons with Kevin Short from MSA, and we're backstage at the Freeman Arts Pavilion in Selbyville, Delaware, where they're setting up for a show behind us.
Yep.
And you guys do, what, 74, did you say?
Yeah, I think this year there's over 70 shows, yeah.
In the summer, that's in 100 days. That's
Yep.
a lot of shows, a lot of...
That's between Memorial Day weekend and roughly Labor Day, yeah.
So almost a different show every night, every other night at least. You're working with a different band every night.
Yeah.
And that means different riders every night, different equipment every night.
Yep.
Walk us through that process.
Once the bands are booked, they send out a technical pack that has their information of what they're looking for, what we have to provide, what they're traveling with, if they're bringing crew, and what we can expect. And then we take that, and then we have a conference call with them before each show. And that's the advanced process. And then so the day they get here, there's no surprises. Everybody knows what's going on. It's pretty straightforward with national acts that are traveling all the time. That's kind of the normal way to do it. Not just specifically here, but in other situations where we're doing festivals, a lot of times there's a lot of local bands. Mm-hmm. And a lot of local bands don't adhere to that practice. And I think that's, if someone would ask me, like, what's one thing we could really change? It's like, if you are a local band and you're playing in a festival situation or at a stage like the Freeman Arts Pavilion or anywhere else on a large scale, you probably need to have some simple information to share with the production company. Okay. And really, we need two things. We need an input list and a stage plot. And what that is, the stage plot just shows where you're standing on stage, where the guitar player is, where the drummer is, if he has a vocal mic, if he has a monitor, if he has an in-ear pack, So that gives us a lot of information. And then the input list shows us, how many inputs they actually have. And then information like they're either traveling with their own front of house person or not, that we have to provide somebody. So but if you're, for local musicians especially, that's something that you can put that together in an evening. I mean, we get them. We just did a festival recently, and there was a lot of local support. I got stage plots that were on a cocktail napkin with a Sharpie that it was blurred, so you could barely read it. Sometimes you get an email description, like, well, our drummer sits in the center of the stage, the guitar player flanks him on the right and the left. And it's like, and he has one mic, and it's like, that really gets kind of laborious and hard to decipher. And so what we do is we share that information to all of our technicians that are on site at your festival. Okay. And then they have access to it on their phones, and there's also a hard copy. So seeing that on a cocktail napkin is not the greatest.
So you're working with the promoter at these events, and you're working with the technical director of the tour or whatever.
Typically, their production manager. Yeah. Their production manager.
And you must hear some crazy things, some crazy requests.
Oh yeah. Well, and because some people have different requests no matter where they go. We don't, and I guess some of the crazy stuff happens more in hospitality world than it does technically. But yeah, you'd be surprised, Do
you do backline as well? You provide?
We do. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Even for the local events and for here and for everywhere.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we take care of that. And those requirements can be real specific and sometimes very, generic. You'll get a backline request that says we need a drum kit. Okay. Well, what's that mean?
Right.
Yeah. And or you'll get a list that says we can only have this particular model, this series, this year drum kit, and these many pieces. And that's a lot harder. And sometimes we have to go find that, maybe we don't have it.
So what I'm hearing you say is you don't like surprises, and mostly they can be avoided.
Yeah, exactly. The less surprises, the better. And the more communication, the better.
Right.
And if it's all done before everybody shows up, then it makes it for a better day.
Day of show, tensions are high and nobody has time.
Exactly.
That's not the time to be asking for stuff when you.
Yeah, on a day like today, you can see it's raining outside. So everybody's going to be working quicker than they would if it was a nice sunny day. So having all that done in advance is nice. So
this is MSA Weekly. We're going to start answering your questions in the next episode. If you have some questions, how do they get that?
They can contact me right now. We're going to have a special email for that, but right now the best thing is use my normal email, kevin@midsouthaudio.com, and comment on the video and share this. And we're just trying to build an audience for this show.
Awesome. We'll see you next time. Thanks
for joining us.